From MEAC Player of the Year to current Bluejay, Blake Harper is here. Let's roll.
Heads up, it's the Roll Jays podcast, the voice of the Creighton basketball fan. With your hosts, Jimmy Allen, Alex Drake, and Casey Matthews. Join the crew and meet CU players, coaches, and a whole lot more. Now, the Roll Jays podcast. Here's Jimmy Allen.
Today on the Roll Jays podcast, I could not be any more excited. In case you guys didn't notice, I am not Jimmy Allen. I'm Casey Matthews, but I could not be any more excited to welcome in Blake Harper. Averaging 19.5 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, MEAC Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, and now current Bluejay, ready to take over the Big East. Blake, welcome in, man. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Well, man, I couldn't be more excited to have you. I know our fans are fired up. I was texting with Trey throughout the process, like, dude, what's the latest? He said, I feel good, just chill. All along, he said he felt it, like this was the spot for you. So we were just jacked, man. I mean, obviously, you know, I know you're paying attention. Like, you see what we've done in the portal, plus you see the guys that, the freshmen, you see the guys that we got coming back. Like, the squad's loaded, man. The squad's loaded, and you're an excellent piece to add to the squad. So, listen, man, I want this to be a conversation. Just want us to kind of get to know each other. Obviously, I'm going to ask you some questions, but I want our fans to feel like they know who Blake is when this is done. So let's just start from the beginning, man. Like, tell us about your basketball journey, where you're from. Like, how'd you end up at Howard? And then how'd you gonna end up here in Omaha?
Yeah, so kind of when I first started touching basketball, my dad kind of put the ball in my hands at a young age. And then kind of, you know, first grade through 6th grade was my prime years. I was really good, probably the best in my school. Then COVID hit 7th, 8th, 9th grade, a little bit at the end. And I was just on the couch eating. Like, I was eating crazy. And
sound like me.
Yeah. So I was on the couch eating and really just like not doing anything. And then, you know, high school came around. I was on JV my freshman and sophomore year because I was like 5'9" and I was a chubby point guard. And, you know, nobody got time for a chubby point guard. So
That's a great line. That's a great line.
Yeah. So really just, I mean, I stayed with it. I stuck with it. Even my dad was on the coaching staff on varsity, and I still couldn't even make varsity. It was like that. So
Pops is hating.
Nah. He knew. But kind of just, I had a growth spurt. Junior to senior year, I got to like 6'3". Senior year, I was around 6'5". And then just in college, I had sprouted and about 6'7" now. But when I first got to Howard, I was on the team, but I wasn't on, you know, I wasn't playing in practice. So I had moved into my dorm and I was reporting to the first day at the gym for the team. And of course I was on scholarship or whatever, but you know, we were just ready the first day of practice. I didn't know what to expect. And I came in, I was 232 pounds and we had came in there. I weighed myself at 232 and we was playing, and then coaches told us put the ball down. He didn't like what he saw. So we started a conditioning test, just started running. And then if you couldn't make the conditioning test, you couldn't practice. And I wasn't practicing for 2 months. The first 2 months. Yeah. So we had a trip to Brazil in August, and my ticket to Brazil was bought, but I couldn't go unless I made this test. And I'd never been out the country before until then. So, I mean, I ended up making the test, and I weighed back in August at 198. And
whoa,
it was a drastic change.
What you're telling me is I need to go to Howard and get on the conditioning program.
Nah.
Right? I feel like you're trying to send me a message right now. Like, I hear it loud and clear. Nah. Holy cow, man! 2 months. So what'd you do during practice? Just run, get on the bike? Like, what was
So I would come in the morning. Practice was usually at 7. So I would usually get to the gym at like 6, get my mind right, and attempt a run test. Then when I would fail, I would just sit there, watch practice. I used to have the towel over my shoulder, And whenever the guys used to fall, I used to wipe up the sweat.
There you go. Hey, first of all, let's be careful there because I am a former student manager at
Nah,
North
all
Carolina
good, all good.
Wilmington,
All
the
respect,
Seahawks.
all respect.
Yeah. Okay.
All
I gotta
respect.
make sure we're clear here because
All
you're
respect, yeah.
gonna get to Creighton and you're gonna meet the Manajays.
Nah, for
And
sure. It's hard work.
the
I
head,
done done it. I
it
done done it.
is. It is. We take it serious. That's awesome,
Yeah.
though. So you ended up making it after all that.
Yeah.
What did you learn from that?
Stick with it. I mean, like, and don't take no for an answer. I knew my dream and I knew what I could do. I just put my mind to it, and I lost all the weight that I've been gaining for years. And this wasn't like it was my first time trying to lose weight. And I mean, when I finally did it, I was just relieved. It was probably the biggest accomplishment in my basketball career, like to this day. I mean, I want, like you said, player of the year, rookie of the year, but to this day, just making that test, that jumpstart it all.
Is it so? And I didn't expect to go here already, but we could circle back to who you are. But from a basketball perspective, watching your film, you play with a certain level of physicality, and you don't really shy away from it. You even you'll like when you look at your numbers, you think like, oh, this kid's just a athletic shooter. And then when you watch the film, you see like, no, like you'll go in the post and bang a little bit. Like you're not afraid of that. Like all jokes aside, is that because of being heavier and just that's how you played?
I mean, that's literally what I was. I wasn't beating anybody with my speed at that time or my size. But my shoulder, if my shoulder get up under your neck, like you're not going to want to take that the whole game. So I kind of learned that. I took that as a little advantage. And when I got in shape and taller, kind of now I'm able to, if you're smaller, I'm shooting right over you. I'm putting you in the post. I'm getting physical. If you're bigger, I'm still probably getting in the post, or I'm taking you off the dribble now since I'm more in shape, more strong, more and faster. So yeah. I mean, my game has changed, but definitely keeping some of my same habits for sure.
That's a great story, Blake. And I think what's interesting too is, to be honest with you, it makes me as a fan more excited. One, because I know the mindset, because you can't do what you did and not have a strong mindset. But two is to see your game where it is, to see the skill set that you have now, and know that you really haven't had this body for very long to learn how to play with that, with that physical stature that you have now. So to me, it's exciting because I feel like you're going to be able to take another step. I'm sure you spent some time with Jeremy Anderson in your visit, and he's unbelievable. He's got to be salivating, hopefully watching this. I don't even know if Jeremy watches our show. If he doesn't, we got to get him watching the Bluejays. You need to help me out with that, Blake.
I got you.
He'll be excited to hear even more about that mindset that you have.
Jeremy he actually was a big I would say asset in Creighton's pitch.
Okay.
Kind of coming into the whole transfer portal thing was kind of where can I excel and exceed my dreams. And my dreams are playing the NBA, and all the guys in the NBA, they're toned up, got NBA bodies. And kind of on my visit, I mean, he was the only one who had a presentation, and I had a solidified slot with him and my dad. It was just me, him, and my dad. We were just sitting there asking questions and personalizing the presentation and letting me know how he could change my body, and what time, and what I need to do, and just different things like that, and to the detail. And that's what really, that was just another asset, another reason why, Creighton was a spot.
Yeah. So breaking news, it was not Trey Ziegler who got you to Creighton. It was Jeremy Anderson. Good. I'm going to send that text right now. No. Awesome. So tell me then, since we're jumping in now to the recruiting, like, tell me about Coach MEAC and what you think about him. I worked for him for 5 years. Know him really well. Look up to him. He's an unbelievable basketball coach, but a better person. I could talk about MEAC all day. As a man playing this game and now having to make a big decision of what's next, you got big dreams, you got big aspirations, and the reality is, man, the money is a big factor now. But tell me about MEAC and what are you excited about playing for him? And what was he like in this process, as you went through a major decision? Because it wasn't a quick decision for you.
Yeah,
So
no.
I'm interested to hear about that.
Yeah, so I mean, Mac, he was really just. I mean, first off, I've been a basketball head since I've been coming up, and I've been seeing him because I'm from DC. Watching Georgetown games, and seeing Big East culture at its finest. And me, I've been seeing him for years, and for when I first entered my name in the portal, kind of just different schools hit me, but when Greg McDermott hits you, it's different. He's a legend, and kind of definitely just someone who I feel like knows who I am and knows what I want as a player. Went in depth with my film and broke down my film to the T, showing me how I can get better. He gonna be in the gym with me when I'm getting better, and just kind of embracing me and letting me know every time we got on the phone, he's saying, "I can't wait for you to be a Bluejay," speaking to it in existence. And and when we was in that when it was in his office just talking, I mean, he just convinced me like wholeheartedly. Me and my dad, we had a look. Me and my dad, that's crazy. If Mac watches this, me and my dad had a moment. He knows what I'm talking about. We just looked at each other and we were just starstruck. We knew it was a spot, but just
I'll have to send this one to Mac. I'll have to send it to him and say, Coach, I've been begging you to watch this show for a long time. Finally, we got an episode for you. You got to tune in to this.
Nah, he was a big part. I mean, he's a legend, and he's produced a lot of pros, especially at my position, and he knows what he's doing for sure.
Is there anybody, speaking of that in your position, that you really looked at in terms of how they were used and kind of how you see yourself being used?
Yeah, I mean, Trey Alexander, Neil even, number 5. I mean, there's different guy, even Doug McDermott. I mean, just taller wings who can shoot it, also play off the bounce. And then I specifically, I feel like I resonate a little bit of Baylor, and
I was thinking you were going to say him first, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the most important. I mean, he even reached out to me during the process on Instagram. That kind of lefty shooter who also can come down on the Barkley post up and just plays the right way and is ready to impact winning. I feel like that's what I resonate.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, man. He plays the right way, and he impacts winning. He's one of my favorites all time.
I love him. Yeah,
he's a fun player to watch. That's fantastic that you guys have established a little bit of a relationship, because he'd be a good one to talk to. I mean, is there anybody like growing up? Now again, this is fun, right? Because your body was different. So was there anybody that you really kind of feel like you took after in terms of basketball wise? Like, who'd you model your game after?
Yeah, so I mean, when I was coming up, like I said, I was on the chubbier side, but another Big East guy, Miles Powell, I really looked up to him crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, Miles Powell for sure. He kind of had the same exact situation, but he was overweight in high school senior year. Got into college, locked in, changed his body, and then y'all see y'all seen the finished product, and it's kind of him. Definitely, I would say in terms of my game, when kind of going through my transition and being on the couch watching Big East basketball, I mean, he was the guy that year, and I'll probably just say my favorite people watching is my favorite player Jason Tatum, but
okay,
I'll probably say people I play like a little bit Julius Randle, little Jabari Parker, just little lefties, mid range, different things like that.
Yeah. Those are really good comparisons. And obviously, if you have anywhere near the success that some of those guys have had, then then you're doing something right. And obviously, you're kind of on that path already, man. That's the Miles Powell one's great. I think, shoot, if Miles would have had the same kind of growth spurt you did, man, what an animal. Straight. I mean, he was impossible to guard. Absolute microwave in terms of a scorer. Man, that's really good. So I mean, you grew up, you said in DC, watched a lot of Big East basketball. I mean, were you a Georgetown fan growing up, or
for sure? I mean, I used to go to
who were the guys hooping then for you to watch though?
I mean, I was there for some years just coming up. Jason Clark, Chris Wright, but also Mikal Hopkins, Otto Porter, even you know,
It's a good
Jeff
name.
Green. Just I was kind of there for it all. Even the Mac McClung days, you know, a little bit. So Mac McClung, James Akinjo. So yeah, just a little, you know, for me.
Yeah,
Just a
man. You
little,
got some names. You're throwing some names out. I
yeah.
like that. I like that. You know, we kind of didn't get into it when we were talking about Coach Mack, but how about Coach Huss? Have you had a chance to get to know him? I think when the process started, he wasn't, on the staff yet. Now he is. He's the next head coach here. We don't know when that's going to be. Like, how did that factor in for you?
I mean, kind of just I feel like a lot of now, especially in college basketball, when coaches step down, it's kind of a scavenger hunt for the next, next person in charge of the job. But kind of already having that plan and me knowing who as a man who that is, it was definitely it was great to see. And he was at every breakfast and dinner, just introducing himself to me and my dad, and him and my dad formed their own relationship, and that was kind of
That's cool.
my dad was started talking to me about him. It was just kind of cool and kind of heartwarming that they cared that much.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you mentioned your dad a few times, and let me before I switch gears, I want to say too, that man, Coach Husk and Coach Ball. So regardless of when that happens, obviously I'm a big Coach Mack fan, so I don't want it to be soon, but if it is, we're in great hands. The man
Yeah,
can straight up
sure.
coach, right? So I think that's smart of you to recognize that and understand that either way, you're in good hands. And then having the
Absolutely.
relationship with dad is great. But you've mentioned your dad a few times, man. Talk about Pops. Like what does he mean to you? Like what kind of role and influence has he had in your life? And then how do you see that continuing now that you're going to be away from home and
Yeah.
you're going to be out here?
I mean, he stuck through it all with me. I mean, the ups and downs, and really just when I feel like I was isolated, it was just me and him. I mean, my pop's all I got. That's who I do it for, and that's who I'm trying to, set up for life, doing this basketball thing. He taught it to me, and it's gonna retire him. So I feel like, he stuck with me and I've stuck with it. And basketball is really, he was a coach, like I mentioned previously, and he played, so he's very familiar and his input matters to me a lot. And just kind of being away from home, he gonna come and support me for sure, and
Sure.
he'll be there for sure. Uh, I know he'll be there in the stands, right behind the bench. But kind of being away from home and being away from him, it's gonna be an adjustment for sure. It's gonna be an adjustment, but I know I can
Who's it
make
going to be a bigger adjustment for, you or him?
him for sure. Him for sure. Nah, it will. It will. It will. I mean, I'm his only child, and he cares about me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's gonna be him for sure. He's not gonna save it. It'll be him.
No, he's gonna be the tough guy. It'll be a FaceTime, and then he'll hang up and do one of these. It'll
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
no, that's awesome, man. And having that relationship is huge because you know what? I think the sky's the limit for you. Who knows, right? Who knows when you get here, what could happen on the court, off the court, right? We don't know. Having
Mhm.
that support system back home, having that role model. I mean, what a lucky a lucky man you are, and what a lucky man he is to have the relationship that he has with his son, man. I think that's high level. I've got two kids. I hope when they're your age that they can look up to me and think of me as a role model like you do your dad, man. So I'd love to hear that. In terms of the program, and you said it, you watch Creighton, you know about Creighton. What's exciting for you to move to Omaha, to be a part of the Bluejay family? We know about the coaching staff and how high level the coaching staff is. I'd love for you to talk about Trey a little bit because I think Trey obviously was a huge part of your recruitment. And I
For
think
sure.
he is you want to talk about you being a rising star in terms of playing. I think he's a rising star in the coaching
Absolutely.
ranks. I think he's phenomenal. So talk about him, but then a little bit too, just about what you're really excited about coming to Omaha and playing in front of Bluejay Nation. Just get me excited
Yeah.
about your excitement.
Yeah. I mean, Trey, he reached out to me first of the staff, and he instantly formed a connection with me. A couple of people back home that I resonate with, and he played basketball himself, and him kind of forming a relationship with me and letting me know that he got me, and him opening me with welcome arms and just kind of letting me know it's all right, and coming to Creighton was the move, and convincing me that Creighton was the move, and I made it a lot because of Trey, a lot. And
Really?
I know he got me for sure, and I know Creighton got me. And for the season, I mean, I'm ready to win. I'm ready to win.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm ready to play in front of 17,000, and
Yeah.
yeah, I done seen some videos, and I'm ready to be a part of it. And I'm ready to impact winning, whatever it takes. I mean, I'm ready to win. But
And so dive into that for me then. Like right
yeah,
now, obviously the season's not here. You have some work to do to kind of just refresh and I know
mhm.
you're already working on your game. But let's say the season were to start right now. How could you help this team win right now?
I mean, I feel like I'm ready to be the plug-in piece for whatever it takes to win. I mean, we got guys, we got a lot of talent, and I know it's gonna gel perfect because I got that feeling about this year. I don't know, it's just giving me goosebumps talking about it right now. But kind of we got Jackson, Owen Freeman, big man, who averaging 17 and 6 and 2 blocks. That's gonna be a big piece. Jackson coming back from all rookie, and I feel like I can fit in right there. And then also can't forget about Josh.
Yeah.
Shooter 40%, 42% from three. And then,
Yeah.
kid for Charlotte, point guard, Nick Graves, hell of a player too as well. And then we got depth as well. Like it's gonna be a scary team, especially for a 40-minute game. I mean it's gonna be a lot to take us down for sure. Austin from Miami can shoot the lights out, Ty, shoot the lights out, point guard. I mean, and that's just the guys I'm naming.
Jason Green. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I mean, for you to know all that, I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
No, I mean,
Um,
I'm ready. I've done my homework. I've connected with
yeah,
some guys, and we all got the same mission for sure, and we try and
that's
win.
that's awesome, man. I think your 2 months of conditioning is going to help you be able
Yeah,
to play at the
yeah.
pace that,
Nah,
that
I'm
Coach
gonna be
Mack
ready
wants
for
us to
sure.
play.
Not gonna be no question.
All right, does playing fast and playing in that style and having that freedom, like as a player, that's got to be exciting, man. Like,
Yeah, I mean
how
a
does
lot
that
of
feel to know that?
yeah. I mean, I know some guys. Like every basketball head knows some guys who take a bad shot, look back at the coach, and
Right.
the
Yeah.
freedom that Mac lets his guys play with, but also having to instill, morals and let the players know that damn, I might have did take a bad shot or something like that. It's not selfish basketball, and it's kind of if you eat, we gonna keep feeding you, and
Sure.
he strives off the let it fly motive, and I love it. I love it for sure.
Yeah.
We gonna fly
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
got it right here, baby. You got it right
Yeah,
here.
we
That's
gonna let it fly
we're,
for
we're
sure.
we're definitely letting it fly. I mean, I
Yeah,
think that's what's so fun about him, right? Is it's a great mix of freedom and accountability. In that,
absolutely.
you're gonna have the freedom to do what you've earned the right to do on the court,
Hmm.
and but yet that's also mixed in with the accountability of if you're not playing the right way and you're playing selfish basketball, the solution is you just go and you sit next to Coach Huss and until you're ready to play the way that Mac wants to play. And
Absolutely.
I think the great thing is that you control that, and that when you're on the court, he's going to put you in the right positions to succeed. And it's up to you to take advantage of it. And
Yep.
if you put in the work, you absolutely will. I think, and I got a quote here. I wanted to make sure I got it because I was just obviously doing my research. One of the things I love that Max said about you is he said, what excites me the most is how seamlessly your versatility and work ethic will fit into the culture. And I love that for two reasons. One, I love the versatility that your game brings. Talking to some friends, some guys on the staff, I think that's what people are really excited about, is that you're not just this is what Blake does. He shoots threes or he posts up. Like you're a lot of things, and we're going to be able to use all those talents. But then he's for him to bring up your work ethic, he probably knows obviously the stories that you shared with us today. But I think that's as a head coach or on the staff, I think you got to know that the guys that are in your locker room want to be there and want to work and want to earn their time on the floor. And for him to have identified that about you this early in the process, I think speaks volumes. And I'm excited. I know we're all excited to have you, but I think the great thing is this excitement, it's going to wear off, right? It's just like anything else that's new.
Yeah, no, for sure.
At some point, it's like, okay, now it's time to actually show why we were excited, you know, and obviously they've identified that you can do that. Tell me this off the court. What do you like? I want to know some hobbies. I want to know, like, right now, if I had your phone and I pull up Apple Music or Spotify, whatever, like what am I gonna find on that? What's that thing called where at the end of the year they give you like the list, like of all the stuff you listen to?
Spotify Wrapped, and I forgot the Apple Music thing, but I know
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm too old to remember that stuff, man. I gotta know. But so what would be on your list?
I mean, I'd probably just say a lot of Rod Wave.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite artists. Rod
See,
Wave.
now you're laughing like I probably don't know who that is.
No,
And you might be right. Like, you might be right. I know who he is. I couldn't tell you his music. Okay. But I saw the look, and I mean, you know, I'm not that old. Okay?
No, I got you. Nah, but Rod Wave definitely, you know, he's up there, and he fills a lot of my percentage of my, you know, songs in my playlist. Little Baby, and I got a little bit of Morgan Wallen on there, just for some chill vibes. And
I also picked up on that. I also picked up on that little head nod. See, I can pick up on things. Okay, Blake. No, I love it, man, because I'm a big Morgan Wallen fan. So
yeah, I got it.
And maybe we'll get Morgan Wallen watching this. You know,
man,
you never know. We had Ryan Cochran last year. I don't know if you saw this, but Koch went to Zach Bryan's concert, and Zach Bryan put on a Ryan Cochran jersey.
Nah, that's nice.
While he was playing, right? So
that's nice.
It's pretty neat, man. We got a lot of good shows that'll come going on. So maybe your guys, and maybe Rod Wave, maybe me and you will go to the Rod Wave concert.
Man, let's do it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we got to make that happen. I think we have to do that. How about like some hobbies besides listening to music?
I mean, video games a little bit. I like shopping, and I love shopping, like clothes, stuff like that. I mean, in video games, I mean, other than that, I'm in the gym, or I'm in my room.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing
nothing. Head or what?
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah.
The fans will see this a little bit.
For real?
Yeah, they will. Yeah.
If there was one pair that's like your pride and joy, your prized possession, man, what is it? Is it just too many to name?
I couldn't put one. I can't put one. But I mean, best shooter playing is definitely Kobe sixes. Yeah. But I mean, outside of, you know, off the court, probably some A6, you know, something calm, nothing crazy.
Wow, I didn't expect that one.
No, I like A6, comfortable. Right. Yeah, comfortable, you know. Calm little
guy's trying to get NIL deals. He's smart. I mean, you're smart. You're really, really smart, man. How about pregame meal? Obviously you're gonna eat what the team gives you, but if think back like AAU days, like what were you eating before a game?
I told you the story, so I mean it was
everything.
I wasn't worried about basketball. I wasn't worried about the game. I had the game before the game. I was ready to eat. Yeah, I had the game before the game.
I love it. You're my kind of guy, Blake. I don't need you doing that now, though. I need you to chill for a while.
That's old, Blake. That's old. Old.
I like it.
But I mean, I love a little Waffle House. I used to, you know, AAU days.
We don't have Waffle House out here, though.
Yeah, nah. But AAU,
maybe that's a good thing.
Nah, yeah, for sure. AAU, I mean, you traveling all over the place, so I mean, Waffle House in the South, but kind of pregame meals now. I mean, like little chicken Alfredo. I like pasta before. You know, something light. Yeah.
Well, John McHugh will have you taken care of, man. He's he's got that menu right. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more fun one, and then we'll get this wrapped up. One player right now, if you could dunk on him, who you dunking on?
Ooh, what you mean, like NBA?
I don't care if it's your dad. I need to know who it is.
One player that I would dunk on, I would want to dunk on. I can't even give you an answer to that. I don't even know. There's so many people. I can't. You can't get that out of me. I don't even know. I don't even know.
Okay, so we're NIL, we're politician, we're a lot of things here. I like it. You're a smart man. No, I want to end it with this, man, because I do want to give you an opportunity as well. Like, obviously, your decision was difficult, and this wasn't just like I'm getting in the portal, I'm getting out of here. All the reports, and maybe they're wrong, but all the reports were it kind of ended up coming down to coming here, going back to Howard. Just talk a little bit about the university, the coaching staff there. What made that decision difficult for you? And just maybe just kind of put a bow on it for us of like this next chapter, of your career.
I mean, yeah, Howard was completely positive, and they were the first ones to really believe in me and to get this whole train started. And they stuck with me through it all, through the conditioning, and kind of becoming a player of the year and rookie of the year, first time in conference history. And they believed in me from the jump. And this decision was probably the hardest decision of my basketball career. And it did come down to those two. And I would just say to put a bow on it, Howard. I mean, it's nothing negative to say at all. And it's all respect, 100%. And they raised me for real into a basketball player, into a young man, and just going to class and the community and the environment there, it was amazing. But I feel like it's time to take to the next chapter and flip the page and start a new page and continue the story. But I feel like my time is now. My time is at Creighton.
Awesome. Well, I think that's a good way to end it. Like I know I speak for all the fans, and we cannot wait to have you here and see that Creighton jersey on you and see it on the court. It's pretty clear to me you're going to represent your university, but also your father in a really positive light. And I think adding guys like you to this team and this program and this community, it makes it special, man. It's why so many people just absolutely love Creighton basketball. So, hey, thanks for coming on with us today. We're going to have to get you on during the season. We'll get to that Rod Wave concert. I mean, we got a lot of things we got to get done over the next couple of years, but I'm really excited to have you, man. And whenever you get here full time, I'll have to come by the facility and meet you in person, okay?
Yeah, let's do it.
All
Appreciate
right,
you.
Thanks so much, Blake. Yeah, talk soon, man.
Yep.
Hey, thanks for joining us for another episode of the Bluejays podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing and Pyramid Contractors. That was Blake Harper. Could not be more excited about him, what he brings to the table, and just having him in the community. You can tell he's unbelievable dude with a great personality, and I'm just excited to get him in Omaha. Hope you guys are too.